What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about trading ranges, because trading ranges can be very confusing and quite difficult to trade for a lot of beginners and a lot of new people, because the beginner traders generally they like to see the market proven. So when they see the market trending down like this, they're going short directly in support, and when they see market rallying up, they're going long directly into the resistance. And it's just a natural common thing, because we like to see things proven before we make a move. So this is exactly how not to trade trading ranges. And just to clarify, the trading ranges are characterized by a series of lows and series of highs, and prices bounce in between those lines, up and down, up and down. And the first thing I like to do when I'm trading ranges, I like to plot this 21 bar EMA. This is just a supportive indicator to kind of get to feel, to know that this is truly a trading range. You can see how prices are swinging up and down through the EMA, but more importantly, EMA is constantly pulling prices closer to it. So prices will not stay far away for long enough, far away from EMA. So this is why I plot the EMA. All right, so the first thing I like to do when I'm trading ranges, I like to identify the lows and the highs as accurately as I can. And I found the highs fairly easily today because I used the previous day's price action. You can see there's a key level forming right here, and you can see it came into play right this day. And for finding the lows, I use these few bounces here. So you can see this is a clear trading range, and as I came in, it was already fairly obvious we are in a trading range. We made a move down, made a boom up, made a move down, so we are in a trading range. So how am I gonna trade this trading range that I know the prices are going up and down, up and down? Well, the main thing is to avoid trading in the middle. In the middle, this is a no man's land, and you cannot trade in the middle because most likely you're gonna get chopped into pieces. So the best thing how to trade is to fade the breakouts, because most breakouts will fail, irregardless what you have heard from a lot of people on YouTube, you know, telling you buy or sell these breakouts. No, you have to trade them in the opposite direction, because most breakouts, especially in trading ranges, will fail. And that is it is the hardest thing to do for a novice trader, but this is why it is so effective. And there is even a little bit safer way to trade the failed breakouts, and that's to wait for lower highs and higher lows, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So how am I gonna navigate this trading range? Well, in trading ranges, I definitely have to draw my short-term trend lines, because there is a rule in price action trading that after a break of a trend line, there's going to be a retest of a new extreme. So as we are right now working up higher, we have a break and a new high. So from this point on, after a break and a new high, there's a time for at least correction or possibly full-blown reversal. And I'm going to do the same thing from the highs to the lows. I'm just going to copy the line, put it to the bottom. You can see it fits nicely. We have an overshoot right here, which leads to a break 90% of the time. We have a break, 2 legs to a new low, and I'm going to do the same thing once again. I'm going to do the same thing once again. Just going to copy it, put it to the other side. We have a break and a gigantic move to a new high. So this is how I will, as a price action trader, look for entries and look for places where I know it's safe enough for a reversal. I'm not going to bind the lows blindly if we don't have a break and a new high. All of these cases we have a break and a new high. And what I'm going to be using a lot, other than selling and buying the breakouts in the opposite direction, the fading them, I'm going to be waiting for a reversal pattern, which is a very powerful setup. And the reversal patterns are characterized with 2 failed attempts in the previous trend direction. So if you can see, if we are working up higher like this, we have a break and a new high, this uptrend is over, and I can be now looking for a reversal. We have a first entry long, pullback, second entry long that failed. This is a 2 failed attempts by the bulls to keep market rolling up higher. And you can see how nicely it failed. Obviously, this is still way too early in the morning, so I'm not going to mark these trades. And we're continuing working low. We have an overshoot right here. This is the new low right here. Pullback, first entry, pullback, second entry short. And you know how second entry shorts are very high probability setup, because we are waiting for a break and a new low. This is a second entry short and a nice bearish reversal bar. So it would be natural for us to start looking for shorts. And notice how we have a 1 leg to a new low, little pullback, and a second leg to a new low. And we have a little breakout. You can see a double bottom right here holding prices nicely. And we broke the support and we came back into the range. And this is exactly what we should be looking for. This is a failed break lower very high probability trade. So this is the safest setup so far of the day. And I know it looks fairly counterintuitive. If you look at the right side of the chart, this is what you would see, and you would see a big bearish sell-off working down lower. So it is fairly hard to pull the trigger right here, but this is exactly how you have to trade it, and this is why you have to trust our price action rules. But in case you're way too scared to go long here, which can happen and is happening a lot, especially to a lot of beginner traders who are still trying to learn about the markets, you can find a safer way. You can find a reversal pattern. And the same thing we tried right here, we're going to try right here. We're working lower, we have a break, 2 legs to a new low. Now we can look for correction or possibly reversal. We're working up higher. This is the first entry short. It failed because this is not higher probability setup. Second entry short, that failed once again. Here, unfortunately, we don't have a good bar, so I'm just going to mark it only for, you know, as an example purpose. If we had a much better bar, because this bar is way too bearish, so we cannot go long above this, and this bar is way too big, so we definitely cannot go long above this. But this is a reversal pattern. 2 failed attempts in the previous trend's direction, and EMA is holding prices. This is a reversal pattern. So this is the safer way how to trade the trading ranges, and we're going to have the same thing working down lower. So we can see we have a break, a massive lag to a new high. Here you can make a case for selling this breakout, and I will mark this because this is the same thing that happened right here. We have a break and a new high, and notice how far away you are away from EMA. This entire time you're so far away from EMA, prices will not stay long away from EMA. The EMA will pull prices to it, and we broke the resistance. We didn't broke below this bar. We actually had to wait and break below this bearish bar, and the bars were fairly big today, so your money management had to be on point today. And notice right here, we have a break and new high. We have failed break higher, so we're expecting for prices to go back into trading ranges. And we have a new high right here, pullback. First entry long, that failed, pullback. Second entry long, that failed, a gigantic bearish bar. And this is once again a reversal pattern. Just like we were looking right here. And this is how you can see why it is so consistent and why these trading ranges are not so hard to trade. Just like the reversal pattern happened right here, the reversal pattern is happening right here. First entry long, pullback, second entry long that failed, high probability setup. We are coming off the resistance, we are touching the resistance. In this case, this is unenterable because this is way too big of a bar. So once again, I have to mark it for trading purposes, because this is, what's the ruler? This is so big. This is not even, this is 7.25 points. So this is no way we cannot enter this. But this is just for you guys to see how reversal pattern looks in trading ranges. And we have a break and a new low. And I actually even like taking this second entry because, you know, just because we have a break and a new low this early, you know, we're coming off the tops in a trading ranges, and you're most likely heading to the lower side, just like here. Just like here, you're heading to the high side, from high side to low side, from low side to high side. So the overall bigger picture is now taking precedence. So you can pay more attention to the bigger picture and not to the smaller pictures. And we have a second entry short that's coming off the top once again. Nice bearish bar, reversal bar. And you can see second entry short, high probability setup coming off the tops. You can see how we cannot close higher. We just try to close higher, but we cannot because we are in the trading ranges. And same people who went short here and here and here, they're still coming to go short in here. Obviously, the trading range will fail eventually at some point or another. And we make a sell off to a low side. And right here, this is where you would be suspicious. After you see this bounce working up higher, this is where your alarm should go off a little bit, because if this is a normal trading range and this is a normal sell-off, we should make it at least to here or even lower, even break lower this support. Just like it happened every single time on the left side of the chart, we should have made it to this low side, but we didn't. There's a gap in between this. So there's a lot of bulls that jumped into the market way too early, and not that many sellers were still left into market. So this is the first observation that you need to pay attention on why we didn't make it to the low side. But same thing happened right here. Same reversal pattern happened right here. We have a new low right here. First entry short, pull back, second entry short. You have this first break of this trend line right here. So waiting for a new high. Failed second entry short. EMA is holding prices. This is looking like a reversal pattern. Of course, this is in the middle of the trading range. So this one would be fairly aggressive, but the reversal pattern failed second entry short is such a strong pattern that you could make a case for taking a trade even in the middle of trading range. But the safest way is to skip the middle and just wait for these bounces off the highs and off the lows. And here we would have a trade that would have failed on you. Obviously you cannot take this trade, but let me mark this. You are now working lower. You have a new low right here. First entry short, pullback, second entry short. So you would be expecting for prices to going lower right here. But you know, just like a few minutes ago, you notice right here that we didn't touch the support. So this is the way how you could have avoided this. But nevertheless, this is a second entry short, and this downtrend is now working, and you know, it is in play. So the second entry short is a potential setup. The only reason why it's not enterable is because, once again, if you, this is 6 1/4 big bar, because you have to put your stop above this bullish bar. So this is unenterable as well, because I'm scalping and I teach you guys to scalp for, you know, in this market for 10 ticks, which is 2.5 points. And even 2.5 points, which seems like a big target for a lot of you, it is still nothing compared to almost 6.5 bar. So, you know, today's market is very volatile. Nevertheless, this would be a loser if you took it. Probably depends. Also, it depends how the bar would look on your chart, because tick charts can vary a lot. But we didn't make it lower right here, and we definitely didn't make it lower right here. So there is definitely some bullish bias happening, because we normally should have been trading back to this support, and we are not doing this. So there's obviously a lot more people that are willing to buy, and the sellers are not that prevalent. So you need to kind of shift your gears here, and you're working up higher. And this is the trade that I actually took right here today. I took this failed break higher as well. This was a not ideal bar, and once we made another push, small little double bottom, this is where I re-entered, and the market, quick easy scalp, it entered higher. And right now we are starting to chop, and you can see we are starting to go into small little trading range, which is not uncommon, because this trading range is fairly big and the volatility picked up a lot. So we went into this smaller trading range, and you have to trade it the same way as you would trade the bigger trading range. You basically have to fade the breakouts and to buy the lows and sell the highs. But there also was pattern that I was looking at today, because the way we didn't come lower right here, there's a bearish imbalance happening in the market, and I made, I think, 2 videos about this. So this is what the trend line, what I was looking at, this is what I found. So I was more up to looking for longs, even though you need to play this trading range just like you would play any other. So you need to short this failed break higher. You have a double top right here, even triple top with this top. Failed break higher, nice big bearish bar. You need to jump back into the trading range. And I actually didn't have this trend line before this swing. So I found the trend line once we found this swing. This is where I drew the trend line here. And this was the reason why I like taking this trade, because the support is holding at this point on, and I'm waiting for a new high of this trend line, because after a break there's most likely going to be a new high. So we are working up higher. We have this 2-tier channel working up higher, and we have a break and a 2 legs to a new high. So this is why I liked taking this long. And once again, off the lows, just trade a smaller trading range just like you would trade any other trading range. Off the lows, buy the lows and sell the highs. And there would be second entry short. You have a trend line working up higher, you have a break and a new high. So now you're expecting reversal. You broke this trading range, and on an overall bigger picture, you are way higher than you should have been. You know, overall, you should be really looking for a lot of reasons to sell. You can make a case for selling all of these because you broke the bigger pattern, and this is what you should be paying more attention. So just to remember that these short-term trend lines are key. If you're afraid selling, fading the breakouts, just wait for reversal patterns, wait for lower highs or higher lows. This is much safer, and you can see how reliant it is and how actually effective that setup is. And prices went back into trading range, and you can see a lot of volatility. It is only 1637 and we have so much bars in the chart, and this is why I'm doing this today early. I have to get away from here earlier, so hopefully you will excuse me not marking all the trades throughout the day. But once you see, and now that the prices are going back into trading range, you can see the volatility is so big that we have a full-on downtrend inside of this trading range. So, but that means that you have to still follow the rules, and you have to wait for second entries at key entry points. So you have to find the trend line. You can find the trend lines from the lows, put it here to the top. We have a second entry short right here, which is according to our rules, but it is not at the key entry point, and it is way too big, so you have to skip this. We have a second entry short. This set up the trend line, but you don't have a break and at least attempt to make a new high of this uptrend working up higher, so you have to skip this one as well. And you finally have a first entry short, pull back, second entry short. It is at the key entry point. We have an attempt to make a new high, break and attempt to make a new high. So this is fine with us because a lot of times you will not get a new high if you're inside of key entry point. So this is off the trend line, and second entry short, high probability setup in and downtrend now. You eventually have a break and a new high, and you can see we have a first entry long, pull back, second entry long, but we're not looking for second entry longs because we're in a downtrend. On the other hand, we are looking for failures, for failed second entry shorts if we are in a downtrend, failed second entry longs, excuse me, if we are in a downtrend. So first entry long, pull back, second entry long. So this is a failed second entry long. We are in a downtrend, and we have a first break of this two-tier channel working lower. So we are looking for a new low. But at this point on, this is starting to look like a strong downtrend, and you have a key level forming right here, and you have a first entry short, pullback, second entry short with a break and a new high, small little bar worth taking. Second entry short once again according to our rules. You already have a break and a new low, but this is such a strong sell-off. This is so many points to this point, 47 points. So you can see the volatility picked up a lot. So this is starting to look like a strong downtrend. So remember, once you get out of the trading range, you still have to wait for high probability setup at the key entry points and second entries at the key entry points. You still have to draw short-term trend lines and wait for breaks and new highs. And you can be looking for failed second entry longs if you are in a downtrend. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it to this very end of the video, hit that like button, I would appreciate it. And if you're more interested about learning price action, you can subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.